way.
It's controlled chaos. Stomping the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Yeah. Good morning, people of Earth. It is Controlled Chaos, KCAA. And the aliens out there, too. Hello to people of Earth and aliens that roam the planet Earth. It is Controlled Chaos on KCAA 1050 AM 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. Also, radiospaz.com with a Z. I'm Gary Garver. How was your weekend? By the way, Jigga Jones, Guru the Gill, live from Las Vegas. How was your weekend?
Yeah, man, my weekend was good, man. I was drinking, partying, straight West Coast up in here.
Yeah, you're having a good time, huh? Well, I had a nice weekend, too. I went out and I worked out a lot. I worked out Saturday and Sunday. I got back into the gym and started doing my runs and things like that, and I'm feeling good. I went to go see my buddy Cal Saul and Uncle Virus Saturday night playing some head-banging music in the valley, and it was a nice weekend. Everything went cool. Just nice and peaceful. It's nice to have a peaceful weekend, with no chaos.
Every one of my weekends been peaceful out here in the Vegas, man. We went to the Senior Frogs and hung out there. They got this thing where you pay $35 in this open bar. So you just drink until you can't drink no more.
Really? Senor Frogs. Listen, I hung out at Senor Frogs, but it was in a Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. They got one down there. There was a lot, too, boy. They had one there, but, now the cartels run them down there. You can't get in that place now.
Yeah, where's the Senor Frogs located? Is that on the Strip?
It's in the Treasure Island.
Treasure Island, that's right. Senor Frog, yeah, Treasure Island. I knew it was somewhere on the Strip. All right, cool, man. $35, all you can drink, huh? I dig that. I like that.
Man, it's cool. You wear a wristband, and they watch you. They don't let you get they don't let you get jacked up, But they make sure you're drinking water and everything else. But man, it was man. They had party. People doing a conga line through the place, the music playing. It was off the hook. I feel like I was 20 years old again.
It feels good, man. I went out. I actually went out. The band went on like around 11:30 at night. So I actually went out at like 11 o'clock at night on Saturday. And I limit myself when I drove. Because I don't have Uber. I have to get I love my flip phone. Don't get me wrong. And if you're looking at KCAAradio.com. I do have my flip phone and everything, and everybody's like looking at me like you're insane that you still have a flip phone. But I really do have to get a smartphone because there's like three things I need, and one of them is Uber because I limit myself, and I'm very disciplined about this nowadays. Back in the day when I was in my 20s, I was a hellraiser, and I'd go out and drink and drive, which was you cannot do that. That is the worst thing. One of the worst things you can do. To yourself and to other humans because you get so drunk you don't even know. You crash into people or crash into cars or whatever it is or get a DUI. I've learned my lesson. I got a DUI back in 1996, and I made a vow that was it. And I limit myself to 2 beers when I drink and drive, So some people won't even drink it, but I have a 2-beer limit, Jigga, and that's it. And
you got to remember this, too. If you get a big glass and pour like 2 cans into it, that's still 1 drink.
But still, I don't want to do that. Then if I had 2 of them, because I limit myself to 2 drinks, so that would be 4 beers. So I have 2. I do the same damn thing every time I drink and drive. Seriously, when I drive.
Well, I will tell you this: you're gonna laugh. There's a place called Las Vegas Transport, and they're cheaper than Lyft and Uber, and you don't need a smartphone.
Really?
Because when we go drinking at the Strip, they charge us $12. Come here from Summerlin down to there. And we pay $12 one way, $12 the other way, and that's it.
Well, that's cool.
Man, they drop you off in a limousine, man.
No, I dig that. In Vegas you can do that. They do have actually access to taxis and those type of tramways. I know there's a tramway that runs through the Strip, and then there's access to that. Here in L.A., you can't do that. There is no access.
If you're drunk and driving here in Vegas, you're just stupid. Well, they make it too easy not to.
Yeah.
I mean, I live literally 12 miles from the Strip, and they basically charge you $1 a mile, and you get a limousine ticket. I mean, that's serious. This is where it's different, man. This city is about preventing stuff from happening.
Right.
So the city subsidizes people to drive, from if you live here, they subsidize you to drive back and forth, so you're not drinking in private. In L.A., they're all about catching you doing something.
Yeah.
They'd rather take your money from you. And that's the mentality. That's why you don't have problems like you got over there. Over here, it's a totally different mentality, man. It's just amazing.
I know. Well, no, I mean, listen, I understand that, but I do have to get the Uber, definitely, and I do have to get a smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Uber
and
Lyft,
yeah, or Lyft, yeah. Well, I mean, I've got to get one of the two because, I mean, by the way, I have to get a smartphone. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to get a smartphone probably. Maybe this week I might actually kick down and go to Verizon and get a smartphone because there's three things I want to use: the Uber, also Facebook Live. So when I do the radio show, the Controlled Chaos radio show, people can contact me and watch it on Facebook Live. And I forgot the third thing. So, anyways. Well, listen, we got a lot of news to talk about. I don't know where we want to start. Do we want to start with boycotting the NRA? Boycott NRA. Hashtag boycott NRA. This is fantastic. By the way, I didn't even know. Did you know the NRA? I guess they're member. First of all, you have to be a member of the NRA. I didn't even know that. I guess you have to actually pay dues to be a member of the National Rifle. I think it's National Rifle Association. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
yeah, it's like a AAA membership. You get you get off on hotels and all kinds of crap like that. But the NRA is I don't know. I don't belong to it. I belong to Gun Owners of America.
All right.
It's a totally different mindset.
Well, anyways,
the NRA basically is like you can shoot a building up. And the NRA is like, yeah, well, it was just right to do it. We don't support it, but it's just right.
Yeah, these guys are nuts, man. I mean, these guys are completely nuts. I mean, they still, I mean, I guess, so a lot of these big companies are actually, I guess they have a membership where you get discounts on rental cars and flights and all sorts of different things. But a lot of companies are pulling out: Delta Airlines, Hertz Rent-A-Car, Budget Rent-A-Car, the First National Bank of Omaha. A lot of them are pulling their sponsorships and discount fares off the NRA's membership. And these guys are insane. The National Rifle, the NRA is completely nuts. Okay, after all these shootings, all the stuff that happened in Vegas with that guy, the recent high school shooting, all the shootings that are going on here, these guys are still not for any change of these laws. Even Donald Trump. Even Trump is saying we need to change some of these background check laws, the bump stock law. I even heard him on TV saying that and I've been preaching about this since I found out about it. The age to own a rifle or a semi-automatic weapon, you can purchase one at 18, but you can't purchase you have to purchase a handgun at the age of 21. He even said that was insane. Okay, but the National Rifle Association, the NRA, doesn't want to change any of this stuff, Jigga. I mean, what's wrong with these cats?
Stupid, though.
I mean, what's wrong with them?
They're stupid, man. They're stupid. They're an old organization that refused to modernize. That's what's wrong with them anyway. So that's why the dude you spoke to was Larry Pratt from Gun Owners of America, and those dudes, they realize the NRA is antiquated. These dudes, you got a bunch of old dudes. I don't know, man.
Well,
I ain't got nothing good to say, so I shouldn't say so.
Well, listen, they're still getting a 50% off of their KKK memberships. The NRA is still getting 50%. They still get their 50% off the KKK membership, but everybody else is pulling out. All right, so it is insane. Wake up, laddie. All right. I mean, how insane is it that you can purchase a semi-automatic weapon at the age of 18? And you can't purchase alcohol or weed. And I love their explanation. Well, if you're old enough to go to the military, you're old enough to carry a military rifle. And so, I mean, how insane is that? How twisted are their views? And they always put these chicks up. You never see these old dudes up there. Their spokespeople are hot chicks. So you're like, wow, this hot chick is for the NRA. I mean, it's so asinine, man. These guys are so, you said it, antiquated. And for not even, I mean, they don't want to change nothing. Zero. They are going to get they're going to get so hammered. And I guess Congress took another 10-day hiatus. They're coming back this week. Are these guys ever working? How many days a week does Congress actually work, Jigga? Do you know, or do they work?
They're at work and don't do nothing. So who cares? They're going to DMV.
But I mean, it's crazy. Anyways, they're going back into Congress this week, and I'm sure the heat's going to be on big time for them to do something, to change something. Background checks, bump stocks. I mean, these are stupid laws. I mean, these are not even, they're saying, oh, for the Second Amendment. Oh, it's all about the Second Amendment. This has nothing to do with the Second Amendment, you idiots, you morons. This has nothing to do with it. It's just stupid.
You got a generation of kids that are eating Tide Pods. They don't need to be holding no gun.
Yeah,
exactly. And they don't need to. That's all I'm telling you.
And what's
stupid enough to eat Tide Pods? They don't need no gun.
Well, by the way, what the hell's with that? I don't know if you guys don't know what we're talking about. These, you know, those little pods, detergent pods, like I guess Tide, and a few of them have it. You know, in fact, Cascade, the dishwashing soap, they have pods now. I guess it's pods you put into the dishwasher or the laundry, and the washing machine. And these kids are eating. They're posting it. What is going on? I mean, I understand sniffing glue a little bit, airplane glue. I mean, you know, back in the day, we did a little sniffing of the airplane glue or whatever. You know, so the really weird kids would eat crayons and crap like that. But what's with that eating the pods? These detergent pods, Jigga? What the? I have. Jesus Christ. They are, man. They're morons. I mean,
come on, man. I mean, kids are stupid, man.
They're dumb. They're dumb.
The bad part about it is here's the thing, man. They're growing up in a generation where they don't know nothing. They just Google it, you know. So they get their whole life Googling everything. You know, Google this, Google that, Google it. And somebody put on Google, go ahead and eat a Tide Pod.
I mean, does it get you high? I mean, does it get you high or what? Does it clean?
No.
Hey, it cleans out your insides. Eat some Tide Pod. It'll wash your insides out. I mean, it's nuts. All right, listen, we got to take a break. It is Controlled Chaos. Wow, total chaos. I'm Gary Garver here live in Encino. The Guru of the Ghetto, Jacob Jones, is live in Las Vegas. We'll be back with more chaos. We've got plenty of it to talk about right after this. Easy.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM.
Are you having trouble getting a good night's sleep? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Do you snore so loud that you rattle the walls? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab will provide you with a personal sleep study to help you find out how to get a great night of rest. Snoring, weight gain, health issues, and stress are some of the contributing factors for lack of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab will do a complete study, including evaluating you with an overnight study of your sleep patterns. With locations in Glendora, Anaheim, Encino, and Los Angeles, South Pacific Sleep Lab can provide you with the help you need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling 310-999-1887 to schedule an appointment today. That's 310-999-1887. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
I'm Jim O'Hare. I'm here to help regulate with CADASIL, a genetic disorder that affects 1 in 25,000 people. CADASIL can cause strokes, leading to memory loss. Patients may experience so as early as 20 years old. Presently, CADASIL is being underdiagnosed and often misdiagnosed as MS or some other nerve disease. So please visit CADASIL.org and learn more about this devastating disease. Learn what you can help with.
Hi.
Here you are.
How are you?
All right.
No, not yet. I'm going more biblical.
Oh, we're going biblical now.
I'm going biblical now.
Okay.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to be in your next life?
Human being, I'm pretty sure.
Another one? I'm going to be a hawk.
Probably not the same one.
Hey, do you think Jesus would approve of offshore oil drilling?
What's that?
Do you think Jesus would approve of offshore oil drilling?
Don't you remember? He always asks like the
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
offshore oil drilling.
Oh, well, probably not. I mean, that's a silly question.
Well, I do silly questions, David. I've been interviewing you for like 10 or 11 years now.
Well, I don't think Jesus would.
We'll have to ask ask our 19-year-old.
I think I might have.
All right, take care, David. I don't want.
Full thing, or is that some kind of?
You pull the covers over your wife and then cut off part and make her smell it. There you go.
All right.
All right, take care. Try it.
Yeah, sure.
Gary Garver, Jew of the. Never
Excuse me. Jew. All right. It's the half Jew, Gary Garver here. Uncontrolled Chaos. Oh my God, with Jigga Jones live in Vegas. And Jigga, we were talking about Tide Pods, and I had to look it up. This is crazy, dude. I guess teens are eating laundry detergent for the Tide Pod Challenge. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, some fool put out a video for ago, and now it's called the Tide Pod Challenge. And then the guy admitted that it wasn't even a real Tide Pod. They had made a cookie that looked like the Tide Pod with the coloring and whatever. And he bit down on it. He, oh yeah, I can get me smiling. He was chewing on it. And he saw this video now called the Tide Pod Challenge. To this post, the video down, people still do it.
Oh.
Here's the thing. Like, I asked for my last one to Tide Pod and say, hey, man, kids never find out if they bust a hole or they're going to find candy for installation in the wall.
I'll tell you, and listen to ingredients in a Tide pot, in a detergent pot, not just Tide, but in a detergent pot. Ingredients in the pods include ethanol, hydrogen peroxide, and polymers. A highly toxic mix of detergent meant to wipe out dirt and grime.
I think the sugar candy and
teens are now talking on purpose and videos of results online. What the hell is this? No wonder this society is crumbling down. I mean, it's just totally insane.
A whole bunch of kids up and then you think it's
yeah, right? Yeah, hey, NRA. Yeah, NRA. Yeah, let's keep the age at 18. Why don't they have a pocket Tide Pod, have that detergent pod, and then you buy a semi-automatic weapon? Why don't we do that? Let's keep that all legal. Yeah, there we go. We don't want to change the age.
It's retarded, is what's going on.
I'm telling you, man.
You got people that are grown age, not being grown. They don't get jobs.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Kids are not growing up.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, listen, not all kids. There's a lot. Listen, the teenagers at in Parkland are doing some great work, and they got their school shot up, and they're really going to press the issue. And I don't think they're going to let this go. And thank God for them. So there are some good teenagers. Let's not bottle them all up in one bottle and tell them they're all nuts. But there are some good teenagers, but there's also wacky ones, okay, and crazy ones. They're popping detergent pods and buying semi-automatic weapons at the age of 18, and it's just insanity. Over the weekend, I guess, it came out that there was actually a Broward deputy sheriff that was at the school. And this guy's taking a lot of heat. Okay, this guy Scott Peterson. Didn't he kill his wife too? Wasn't the same dude? Wasn't that? Is that the same dude that killed his wife, Lacey Peterson or something like that? Yeah. I was shocked.
Guy's a cop.
I guess.
Guy's a cop. What do you do now?
Okay, that's the cop Scott Peterson. I don't even know. There's all sorts of Peterson. The last name Peterson is. Yeah, they're. If I had my last name as Peterson, I might change it because of all the nutcases that run around and do stupid S around here. But anyways, I guess that guy was at the school. And he didn't go in while the shootings were going on. In fact, he was right at the building, and he just stayed out and basically resigned. He was probably scared out of his mind and just said, hey, man, you know what? I probably freaked out, right? But this guy's a pariah. But I guess there was 3 other sheriffs that came up on the scene and stood by while the school was getting shot up. These kids and teachers were dying. I just don't understand that.
This is the kind of thing that happens when you say, oh, the police will protect me. Well, guess what? They won't. They won't protect you. If something is scary, they ain't coming in there. Man, these are some punk police, man. They're supposed to come in there and help people. They sat outside. This is why you cannot leave your safety to anybody else. You're talking about arming teachers. I understand why they're saying that, but the problem is they don't hire good teachers. You can't keep the teachers from screwing the students.
Yeah.
So they gonna have to do some change, some kind of things going on. But I tell you what, man, this is why I tell people you cannot leave your safety in the hands of the police. You've got 4 police that would kick your door, beat you up, put a gun in your face, write you tickets to steal your money, but they wouldn't come in and save your kids getting shut out of the school.
Amen to that. You're absolutely right. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, these guys are cowards. I mean, they should all go down. In fact,
they should get the death penalty. I'm sorry, because you know what? They take an oath. They take an oath that they're supposed to go help people that they don't know and all that crap. So I tell you what, it would be good to put it on national TV and have somebody shoot them in their face.
Oh.
Right there on TV, the death penalty. No, I'm serious. You think these are the only coward cops that are out there?
No.
There's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of people signed up for the free food and signed up for the badge, beat people up, treat people bad, and hidden drugs on folks. This is the kind of people they got to go. They should get the death penalty for this. They should get electric chair, some kind of thing. They should be public. So all these other police that are out there, they leave that job. They don't need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it was really disturbing to hear this. And by the way, when Trump wants to say arm teachers, what scares the hell out of me about arming teachers are, what if the teacher is mentally deranged and you don't know about it, or hold on, or his wife, he left his wife, or his wife left him for, he found another guy in his bedroom banging his wife, and the next day he comes in with a gun. You know what I mean? And one of the students freaks out on him or gives him a rash of S, and he goes off and blows off. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Hey,
I mean,
you know what?
What's that?
It would make the kids speak a hell of a lot nicer.
That's true. They wouldn't be talking in class, that's for sure. But if my teacher, yeah, if my teacher was carrying a gun, I probably wouldn't be. I wouldn't say a word. I would be a mute. I would be a mute. But I mean, you can't have teachers armed because you don't know when one of them's going to trip out too. And the first time a teacher trips out and guns somebody down or kills them or commits suicide right in front of his kids because he can't stand life or what, you don't know what's going on in the minds of these teachers either. Listen, 99% of the teachers,
the psyche of a teacher is not the one that's going to protect people from
No.
fighting them. It's not the same kind of person.
No.
It's not literally, but so I understand it, but they can protect themselves. Yeah, but these people most of these teachers are gimps.
Yeah.
They're morons.
Listen,
look at the people that teach over at Berkeley. I wouldn't give none of them no guns. They're all stupid. They teach the kids to go out and burn the school down. This is the same person you want to put a gun in. I'm sorry. Guns aren't for everybody.
Right.
I do believe that. I hate to say that, it sounds elitist, but they're not for everybody. There's people that when you throw something at them, they put their hands up. Oh no, please. That's no gun is for you.
Well, I've never owned a gun. I've never owned a gun. I don't think a gun's for me. I'm not into guns. I don't want to have a gun around. I just think bad things can happen when you have. For me, a gun is a negative element. Okay. Now I know for a lot of people like to hunt and go shooting and stuff like that. I did with my dad. My dad had a .22 in his house, when we were growing up, a rifle, and we went out a couple times and went out shooting in the desert, cans, cool. Which is fun. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was fun to shoot a gun but I haven't shot a gun in 40 years or, close to 40 years now, for sure.
That's what's wrong with you.
That's what's wrong with me. I need to go shoot some gun. I don't think I should have a gun, Jigga. I don't think I don't want to own a gun. I have no reason to own a gun. There's no reason. And there's no reason to own more than. And by the way,
you live in Los Angeles. You got 2 million homeless on the street. Trust me, not all those homeless people are harmless.
Listen. I know that. I give them $1 when I see them. I give them $1. They're cool with me. You know what I mean? In fact, this guy was freaking out at the market a couple nights ago, just screaming his lungs off, and I go, he was screaming. I mean, just bloody screaming. And I go, hey man, you want $1? He goes, yeah, sure. Just like that. It's just like he became completely normal when I go. He goes, yeah, sure. And I go. He goes, God bless you. Yeah, I mean, and then he starts screaming again, freaking out. So I mean, I don't know. I
can't rub my hands Saturday to take $1 from Gary.
Right. He completely changed his demeanor. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man.
You know,
I'll just change it. Hey, man. You know, like you say, poverty pisses me off. You know, money cuts me down.
Yeah, but anyways, I guess the investigation's going on. This is crazy. We talked about this for many. You know, and we've always been on the other opposite sides of the fence here about the semi-automatic weapons. But like I said, there is no reason there should be people should own semi-automatic weapons. There's no reason at all for this. I mean, they're not hunting rifles.
If you could guarantee me there'd never be another riot, there'd never be another breakdown of law enforcement to protect people, I would agree with you. But as we just said in this show, the police cannot be trusted with your personal safety.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm saying if you don't have a gun in your house, you live in L.A., you're going to be a victim. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow. The economy is worse in L.A. There will be people that will kick your door in and beat you up and take your stuff. I know those people. When I grew up in Compton, they're still out there doing it.
Of
and
course
they
they are.
actively break into people's houses, and this is what they do for a living. And you know, a couple of them gone to jail. I know a couple of them that have not been caught. I know a dude who's been stealing from people in their houses for over 40 years.
Wow.
So I have a little bit more personal thing with where I will always keep a gun because there are black people. I shouldn't say black people, but
Yeah, don't
these
say
black
that.
people that I know, the black people I know, there are people out there that have never been caught, never been ID'd, and they've been robbing people for 40 years and doing really awful things to them in their houses. So I'll just tell you, personal safety is yours. Where you have a knife, a gun, a box of rocks, a box of gloves. You got to protect yourself.
I got my golf clubs. I mean, I'll hit with a 4-iron. You know what I mean? So,
Tee off on somebody coming in your window.
I'll crack their head, man. The 4-iron. 4, bam. All right, listen, it is Control Chaos. It's Monday. I'm Gary Garver here in Encino. Hey, we got a couple other stories to talk about. We got to talk about Jonathan Martin. Remember that dude that got bullied? The offensive lineman got bullied by a couple of his players. We got to talk about this dude because I guess he got detained over the weekend for threatening a high school here in right down the street actually. And we got a myriad of stories. All right, we'll be back after this.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
Are you having trouble getting a good night's sleep? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Do you snore so loud that you rattle the walls? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab will provide you with a personal sleep study to help you find out how to get a great night of rest. Snoring, weight gain, health issues, and stress are some of the contributing factors for lack of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab will do a complete study, including evaluating you with an overnight study of your sleep patterns. With locations in Glendora, Anaheim, Encino, and Los Angeles, South Pacific Sleep Lab can provide you with the help you need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling 310-999-1887 to schedule an appointment today. That's 310-999-1887. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
Mr. Aldrin, can I ask you one question? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
You know what? There's a lot of controversy going around nowadays because people aren't believing in the government that you guys didn't really go to the moon. Did you? I mean, did you really go to the moon?
I think so. Best I can recall.
Were you there?
We were there.
What was it?
A few of us. It was full of American cheese.
Really?
Yeah, right. No Swiss cheese. No Russian cheese.
No Russian cheese?
No. We're looking for caviar, but we didn't see any at all.
Would you like to fly again?
No, I'm working on people going to Mars.
Mars?
Mars.
I want to go.
Mars. You want to go?
Take me in. On to Mars.
Mars, of course.
Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Aldrin. God bless you.
Thank you.
The man that Howard Stern fired and said he would never work in radio again. That's right. It's the second coming of Gary Garver.
On to Mars with Buzz Aldrin. Do you think they actually went to the moon? Do you think Buzz Aldrin actually walked on the moon?
You know what? It's debatable. You know, there's a lot of people that say they probably didn't. And, you know, the way the government lies, I wouldn't be surprised.
You think it was all
I wouldn't be
a
surprised.
sham?
I wouldn't be surprised if they said, you know, tomorrow that they lied, they faked it. I wouldn't be surprised. But they were saying you could see the moon craft up on somebody put it up there.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, listen, check this out. Scientists have discovered that water or its relative hydroxyl may be widely distributed across the surface of the moon. Yes, there's moon water, could be used for rocket fuel. Is that wild or what? If moon water is widespread and easily accessible, explorers could use it for drinking water, oxygen, or even rocket fuel. So,
yeah, but how would they open the helmet to drink the water?
well, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty interesting that the moon water could actually be used for rocket fuel or drinking water or oxygen. That's what scientists are saying. That's what they're saying, Jigga. So maybe the results were published in Nature Geoscience, if you want to check it out. So, anyways, who knows, man? Right? I mean, maybe we should go back to the moon. You know, why do we want to go to Mars? Isn't Mars really far away and hot and don't we?
Crazy.
Anyways, moon water. Yes, moon water. I do believe we went to the moon. I think I
would like to think so, because your boy said we're going to go to the moon. We're going to go to the moon.
All right. Well, exactly. And by the way, I'm going to Night of 100 Stars this year once again. We've actually interviewed Buzz Aldrin at Night of 100 Stars a couple of years ago, right? When you were in L.A.
Yeah, man. So they is happening. Those rumors they were postponing the 100 Stars.
No, it's happening. I believe it's happening at the Hollywood Museum. So I'm actually going to go down there Oscar night. You know, I only go once a year to do celebrity interviews. So I will be going down there, and usually Buzz Aldrin is down there. So I will ask him about going to the moon if he really did.
You should ask him about that. That would be disrespectful. Every guy got punched in the face doing that.
Hold on. Wouldn't that make a good YouTube video if I got punched in the face by Buzz Aldrin, right?
You don't want to get punched in the face by an American legend.
I know. I've interviewed him probably 4 or 5 times. He's always been very cool. So maybe I'll run into him this year. Is he still alive? He's still alive, right? Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Hey, check this out. This is crazy. This guy, Jonathan Martin, I don't know if you guys know who Jonathan Martin is. He was a Miami Dolphin offensive lineman, went to Stanford, went to Harvard Westlake High School here in the San Fernando Valley.
Oh, wow.
That's located on Laurel Canyon in Ventura, just basically about 4 miles from here, the Encino studio. And about 3 years ago, there was like this weird thing that went down with Jonathan Martin, and he's playing for Miami Dolphins. And I guess a couple of his teammates, offensive lineman Richie Incognito and center Mike Pouncey, 2 big dudes. And by the way, Jonathan Martin's not some little shrimp. He's like 6'5", 300 pounds, okay? So supposedly, and I just still don't understand this, he was being bullied by Incognito and Mike Pouncey. How do you get...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Remember
That's
this?
right. He was a big sissy that got bullied. Yeah, okay, I remember that.
How do you bully a 275-pound, 300-pound, 6'5" person? How do you bully a guy like that?
Why is an elephant afraid of a mouse? Same thing.
I mean, I still don't understand this bullying thing. Anyways, Incognito basically got suspended for a whole year. Mike Pouncey played, but Incognito got suspended for a year. The NFL suspended him for a year. He didn't play for a year. Actually, the following year, he came back and went to the Pro Bowl as an offensive lineman. So, anyways, this guy Jonathan Martin, I guess he got kicked out of the league, or basically he was released. He went to the San Francisco 49ers. Do you think you think he's a little light in the boots? Do you think that's why he was bullying him? Do you think that had something to do with it? You know?
I think so, man. He six something, somebody bullying you, you're gonna tell, come on, man, there's something wrong with you. Your brain ain't developed. You're gonna go home and eat a Tide Pod.
Yeah.
You're the same kind of person.
maybe ate too many Tide Pods. I don't know. Anyway, so over the weekend, I guess he posted something on Instagram with a rifle and basically threatening Incognito and Pouncey. And also the school, Harvard Westlake High School here in the Valley. And he posted on Instagram with a rifle and basically stated that, something about bullying and either at least a bullying or suicide or something like that. I guess he's mentally disturbed, and they detained him. And the story goes that Jonathan Martin had a gun in his possession when he was detained by police. Anyways, police say believe Martin had recently purchased 2 weapons, including one that matched with the gun seen in his Instagram post. When he was found on Friday, he had a gun in his car. He's also undergoing a psychiatric evaluation. This guy, Jonathan Martin. Martin made a threatening post on his Instagram story last week that showed a photo of a gun with several bullets around it. The post specifically called out a few of Martin's former teammates, like I said, Incognito and Pouncey, as well as his high school. The threatening post issued just a week after the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, was enough to make the school close down on Friday out of precaution. Do you believe this? I mean, God.
That's stupid, too.
Well,
I mean, that dude don't go to no Harvard Westlake. They ain't going to let him in. You know, the security in that building, you ain't getting in the Harvard Westlake. The kids carry little PIV cards when he swiped to get in the door.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, Harvard Westlake is one of the most secure schools in the Valley.
Well, it's a private school, yeah.
There.
Yeah, I know.
He ain't been there in 100 years, so he don't even know. He think he's still walking in the front door of that place. Shoot.
Yeah.
He ain't getting in there.
Well, anyways, I mean, I just don't understand that, you know, and I still don't get it. Like, dude, like, get over it, man. I mean, you know.
He's a loser.
Yeah, that's a loser.
I don't care how much money you make in an NFL, whatever it is, you can still be a loser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can be a loser at the game of life. That's the thing they don't tell you. Remember, you can be a winner at the game of life. Remember the commercial? But they never tell you, hey, if you didn't win, you were a loser. They never told you that. But guess what? It was true.
And by the way, if you hang out with losers, you become a loser. If you hang out with, I believe in that, man. If you hang out with winners,
I totally believe in it.
If you hang out with winners, you get that positive energy from winners. You know what I mean? And if you hang out with losers or have losers hanging around you or whatever, or you have that loser mentality around you, you become a loser. I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's really, you know, it's weird how the energy works in our force fields here. Hey, this is a crazy story too. Did you hear about this one? Transgender wrestler booed after winning state title. Now I was like, wow, you know, when I'm thinking transgender or wrestler, I'm thinking, well, it must have been a dude that changed to a chick, right? It went from a guy to a girl. No, this one went from a girl to a guy. So anyways, Euless Trinity transgender wrestler Mac Beggs won his second straight state title Saturday evening to a chorus of boos. Beggs, 36-0, hasn't lost, who won last year's Class 6A Girls Championship in the 110-pound division, won by 15-3 against Chelsea Sanchez of Katie Morton Ranch. No, I guess they screwed this one up. Okay, so anyways, last year the 18-year-old beat Sanchez for the championship. Beggs was the center of both praise and criticism in 2017 when a parent filed a lawsuit to try to keep him from wrestling in the female division. So, yeah, hold on. Wait, a few years ago, Beggs began transitioning from female to male. Okay, so hold on. This dude, or this, hold on, from female. Okay, so hold on. Hold on. You got to straighten this stuff out. Because it's always crazy with these transgenders, man. You know what I mean? All right, so I guess he was a female. Okay, this guy Mac Beggs or chick Mac Beggs was a female. Now he's transitioning to a male. Okay, so bottom line is, I guess he's taking this hormone pills to become a man, right? But he's still wrestling as a female. That ain't fair, right?
Oh, that's not good.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Why are they letting? Why did they let? But he wants to wrestle as a girl. But he's taking hormones to become a man, right? That ain't right. That's unfair. You know, I mean,
he got hormones, you know, and you got all that strength, and he's going to be a wrestling man, with a wrestling woman body.
But if she wants to be a man, right, and she's taking the hormone pills to become a man, you shouldn't wrestle as a girl, right? That's not fair to the other girls. You should wrestle as a guy, right?
Well, you know what? She's got a bigger problem than wrestling right now. So she should be wrestling with her sexuality. That's what she should be wrestling with.
She's definitely wrestling with her sexuality. Beggs is also working towards a gender Hold on. Beggs is also working towards a gender reassignment surgery, which means she wants a penis. She or he wants a penis. You know what I mean? Now, if you're a transgender, I guess you could pick the size of your penis out, right? Or is it one size fits all? The average penis is this big. Would you like a little smaller or shorter? I mean, what the hell's wrong here, Jigga? This is what's wrong with our society.
It's what it is, man. You know, you got this bond taking dog on that hormone. You know, she's out there stronger than an ox and a mule out there. And he doesn't man him.
Yeah, she's loading up on testosterone. Okay.
Yeah.
And he looks like a dude. When I saw he looks like a guy. She looks like a dude. There's a picture of. You want to check it out? Mac Beggs, MACKBEGGS. If you want to look at the story, Google the story. But it looks like a dude wrestling a chick. You know what I mean?
What it is.
It is. That's not cool. That's not right. That they shouldn't allow that. Why did the Texas school?
Everybody wants to be politically correct.
Oh,
and this
so
politically correct crap is coming to hit them in the face full circle now.
I'm telling you, man, it's so wrong. It ain't fair. But they got booed off. And basically he said, I don't care. I gave all in that match. You put me in front of anybody and I'll wrestle them. She said. Each time I read comments, they all say the same thing about steroids. It all comes down to technique and who has the most heart and penis. All right. So
tell you what, man, this is where you gotta be careful. You got these folks. If they don't have to strap it on, they're gonna take it from you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful.
Man.
You got a person to do all this stuff. You look out.
Listen.
The person that may be raping you may be a woman.
I got no problems with this. You want to be a guy or a girl or whatever, and you want to transition yourself into that, be my guest. I don't care, but don't use it as this is like a platform where you're transitioning into a dude. You're taking testosterone, and you're wrestling girls. You want to be a man, but you're wrestling as a girl. Be a man, wrestle as a man, if that's what you want to be.
Everybody wants an advantage, Gary. Everybody wants an advantage.
Just crapple. And by the way, if you're a man and you want to become a girl, that's cool with me. But you know what? If you go to a bar and you're hanging out with a dude and you're getting friendly with him, at least let him know that you have a penis. Okay? That's all, right? I mean, seriously.
You'll find out when he's bending you over.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being at a bar, right? This is great. I'm at a bar, Jacob. Okay, and there's a beautiful, what I think is a so-called beautiful woman next to me, and we're talking and we're getting along and we're having a good time and all that. And all of a sudden, I start buying her drinks, and we start getting friendly and all that. And she's wearing a little mini skirt, right? And then I look down at the mini skirt and I see a bulge there.
You don't have to imagine that. You live in LA. That's reality.
I'm just saying, man. How crazy is that, dude? How crazy is that?
Yeah, man. And next thing you know, you get a little tipsy. And you say, man, wake up the next morning, your rear end is all sore. What happened? I got pounded last night. Beautiful woman.
No, I don't think so, bro. I think I don't care how loaded I would get. Believe me, I would know. I would know, bro. I would know. I trust me. Thank God that's never happened. Knock on wood. Thank you, Lord Jesus. That's never happened to me. But if you're a transgender guy and you're turning into a girl, please let the guy know at the bar that you've got a penis. I mean, at least have some respect.
She figured, hey, you can find that out in the second day.
No, I would want that to be known first. Hey, by the way, did you watch any of the Olympics?
Yeah, man. They
Yeah.
had this thing with it. They had these people with broomsticks out in the thing, pushing this thing down there, broomsticking it. Like they was sweeping in front of it. They had to clean it last minute. I saw that. Then I saw the thing where they was doing the school shooter exercise where they was on skis and they pull a gun out and start shooting. Skiing off. I said, man, what kind of isn't that how that dude in Norway shot out on people?
Oh God!
Hey, remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, the curling thing. In fact, I goofed on curling at the beginning of the Olympics. I said, "Who's going to watch curling? Who cares about curling? What the hell is curling?" Well, lo and behold. The United States won a gold medal for curling, and I still don't understand the friggin' thing. It's a big bowl. It looks like a big bowl, and they shove it down there, and then they sweep it to hit another bowl or something. I mean, and they call that a sport? I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. I got to train for that. I got to lift and do all that, and I got to eat eat right, and give me a.
They do. I'm telling you.
Oh,
And here's the
Jesus
deal.
Christ.
Who was smoking what kind of ganja that came up with that?
I'm telling you, man. Maybe they were eating those Tide Pods. They came up with those things. Yeah. Hey, man, let's get on the ice, man, and put like a bowl out there and push it down there and sweep it and try to hit another bowl, dude.
It'll at least be entertaining for the bowl of weed.
Right.
And whoever wins at the end, that got to smoke it. That's part of the competition.
Yeah, I mean, the only point.
Although then Jamaica would win all the doggone awards.
Oh, they'd win everything. They would win the whole thing. I gotta say, the one thing I did enjoy, I did watch one event. Really, I mean, I watched some of the. I'm a skier. I love to ski, so I watched a lot of the downhill and some of the. I like the snowboarding and the jumps and things like that. That was really cool. But the one thing I really.
The Americans said F word was one.
No, I didn't see that one. They had the F word in there. Oh, that happens all the time.
It was funny because he's like a skater dude, man, and he's out there and he goes, yeah. What do you think? I was like, F yeah.
F you.
Oh, sorry, man. It was so funny. It was this dude that F yeah. Like what?
I love it. The one thing I did enjoy watching. The U.S. and this is the only time I'll ever watch it. As my flip phone goes flying. Hold on. I just want. Somebody's texting me in the middle of. I hate when these guys text me in the middle of the show. Stop texting me on the middle of the friggin' show. What I did enjoy, and the only time I'll ever watch it, probably for the next 4 years, is women's hockey. The U.S. women's hockey team won the gold medal.
I didn't even realize I was watching women's hockey. Because I said, man, these dudes got some long hair. I didn't see no, they didn't have no beards or nothing. I said, man, these dudes are clean cut. And then when they zoomed in, I said, oh, these are women.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was cool. So I mean, there was that's why I sort of dig the Olympics a little bit, is that there's events that you'll never watch, like curling and all this other crapola. But yeah, the women's hockey team won the gold medal, which I actually watched the game, so that was sort of cool. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is. The Olympics, and I guess Ivanka Trump was there, and who cares? I'm so tired of the Trumps. Aren't we tired of the Trumps already? Aren't we sick?
I was tired of the Obamas. I'm tired of the Trumps. I'm tired of all that.
I'm tired of everything.
Kardashians, all that.
Oh, the Kardashians, I guess. Oh, listen, I'm so sick of them. Can't they just disappear? And they're having more kids. I guess Khloe Kardashian's having a kid. Now there's a big story about how she's having complications. Who cares, man? There's so many things to deal with. You know what I mean? We're really worried about Khloe Kardashian's pregnancy. I mean, do you care about it?
Money to deal with it. Ain't nobody worried about that. They got money.
They got money.
They can pay the obstetrician or whatever the hell it is, get out there and do something.
They can do whatever they want, right? I mean, who cares? They got tons of money. Oh, by the way, speaking of stuff, Heather Locklear, remember Heather Locklear?
Yeah, she should be somebody.
She was hot, right? I think she was smoking hot. I think she's my age now. She ain't looking so hot anymore. But
Hell no.
But anyway, she was arrested Sunday night on suspicion of domestic violence and assault on an officer.
Do you remember that story from years ago that dude said he dated her and she be hitting him in the face and stuff?
Yeah, she's nuts.
This is a continuation of that. People laughed at that and thought that was BS. Now you find it out that they ain't playing with domestic violence no more. Now you find out, hey, that's just the truth. That dude wasn't making that up.
Yeah, I guess she was arrested in Thousand Oaks. Where Thousand Oaks, California is. It's where it's where I grew up out there. Few details are available, but Captain Dean Cook of the Thousand Oaks Police Department said the one count of she was filed with one count of domestic violence, and it was a felony, and 3 counts of battery of emergency personnel, and they were misdemeanors. So Heather Locklear's domestic violence. What could she do? I mean, she's not even that big. She's like 5'4" and about 100. Well, she was last time I saw her, about 115 pounds.
She's one of these entitled broads that thought you could punch people in the face and hit people. She used to get away with it.
Yeah, I guess
she was one of those.
Yeah, she was loaded. I'm sure she was loaded too. So now the next step for Heather Locklear will be, I got to go to rehab, right? That's the next step, right? When all these idiot cats, these entertainers or whatever, sports figures, once they do the domestic violence thing, the first thing they do is go into rehab. I got to go to rehab and clean up, I mean, she was booked into Ventura County Jail, and I guess she's no longer in custody. She got bailed out. But Heather Locklear got arrested last night for domestic violence, man. I mean, I'm telling you, the world is crazy, dude. The world is completely crazy. It's totally insane, Jigga. What are we gonna do about our society? Tell me. What can we do?
Laugh at it every day.
Right, on the Control Chaos radio show, right? All right. Well, it's always good.
That's all you can't do. If you can't laugh at it, you got something wrong.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at our society and what's going on here, man, because it's just complete chaos. Oh, listen, Jigga. Have a great day. If somebody wants to get your wit and wisdoms and find out more about you, where do they go, my brother?
They go to JiggaJones.com.
JiggaJones.com. And if you want to find out any more about me, you can email me or Facebook me, Gary Garver at Facebook. I think I'm going to have some, the Auto Club Speedway 400's coming up in a couple weeks. I believe I'm going to have some tickets to give away next week. Next week for the Auto Club Speedway 400 happening in Fontana. I believe it's March 18th. Say what? Fontucky. That's right. Wake up, white people. If you're still an NRA member, 50% off your KKK membership. That's right. We don't care about Delta and Hertz and all them other Jew entities. We're gonna honor the white man with our membership, with the NRA discount membership. Wake up, laddie. That's right. All right. I want to change the world, Jigga. I want to change the world. You know why? I want it to be all white all the time. All right. You gonna call in tomorrow?
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, you guys have a great day. It's Monday. Have fun in the sun. That's right.
Everywhere is freaks and harris, dykes and fairies. Tell me where is sanity? Tax the rich, feed the poor. Tell there are no rich no more. I love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. Population keeps on breeding, nation bleeding, still more bleeding economy. Life is funny, skies are sunny, bees make honey. Who needs money? No, for me. I love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. Oh yeah!
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Jessica Ettinger, CNBC. And major indexes are all higher. The Dow's on pace for its first losing February in 9 years. But today, right now, the Dow is up 241 points. The Nasdaq is up 48 points and the S&P 500 is up 17 points. U.S. new home sales, surprise, dropped for a second straight month in January. Economists predicted they'd rise. Steep declines in the Northeast and South. They're to blame partly because of higher mortgage interest rates and fewer affordable new homes on the market. Apple has confirmed that it uses Google's cloud to run its iCloud for storing iCloud users' data. Dean Foods shares are down about 12% right now on a weaker than forecast quarterly earnings report. Dean makes many brands like Land O'Lakes butter. Coke is launching its first new cola flavors in 16 years, Georgia peach and California raspberry. CNBC.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. Take down the number now for the Federal Tax Management Hotline, 800-522-3893, 800-522-3893.
For 13 seasons, Blake Shelton has ruled the country roost on The Voice. But tonight, will this cowboy finally meet his match?
I'm gonna win!
Meet the new country queen of The Voice, 3-time Grammy winner Kelly Clarkson.
I am a country girl, but I know Blake. He's gonna be like, she knows nothing about country music.
Can Kelly take down the country king?
Nobody else has brought a country artist to the finale.
That's because I haven't been here.
Find out tonight when The Voice returns on NBC.
This is Gary Garver. Are you having trouble getting a good night's sleep? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab provides a personal sleep study to help you find out how to get a great night of sound sleep. I've been having sleeping issues during the night lately. South Pacific Sleep Lab evaluated me with an overnight study of my sleep pattern. With their professional staff, they were able to provide me with a diagnosis of my sleep pattern, and ever since, I've had no problems getting a great night of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab has locations throughout Southern California, and they will also provide transportation to any of their locations at no cost to you. South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just give them a call at 310-999-1887 to schedule your appointment today. That's 310-999-1887. South Pacific Sleep Lab. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this morning, we expect mostly sunny skies with a chance of an afternoon shower. Our high 63 as winds gust to 20 miles an hour. Showers are likely tonight. Today mostly hot, got a 44. With showers, we could have a thunderstorm Tuesday. Look for a partly sunny day with a high 53. There's a chance for showers into Tuesday evening. Today partly cloudy with an overnight low 39. Have a sunny Wednesday with a high of 60. I'm Rod Tanner, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center with the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California.
This is Gary Garver. Are you having trouble?
If you're suffering from aches and pains, it's time to try Arbo Vitae Health and Wellness Dietary Supplement. Arbo Vitae contains pycnogenol, the most powerful, natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant available, which is nature's way to support the immune system. Let Arbo Vitae help your body restore itself today. To order Arbo Vitae online, go to ARBORVITAEUS.com. To order by phone, call 800-570-0433. That number again, 800-570-0433. Arbo Vitae is proud to sponsor Fish Talk Radio. Check out the show on Facebook or visit the Fish Talk website at fishtalkradio.com. The first caller will receive a 30-day supply of Arbo Vitae with no obligation, so call now, 800-570-0433. Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So Expect the unexpected.
This radio broadcast may contain various pieces of information about various types of investments and strategies and investment philosophies. This information does not constitute any advice related to any individual's personal finance, nor should it be construed as a recommendation as it pertains to a portfolio of assets. None of the content should be construed as solicitation to buy or sell securities or any other investments. The opinions represented in this broadcast regarding investment strategies, or investment philosophies each involve risk factors and other considerations that should not be acted upon without consulting a licensed qualified investment professional.
Live from beautiful Newport Beach at Sam & Co's On the Money, where the days of waking up and not having to worry about money is closer than you think. I'm Sam. I'm one of your hosts today, and sitting right across the way from me is Coz. Coz, how you doing, bud?
Good morning, America. I'm doing great.
Oh, good morning, America.
Yes. Hey, with technology, we can reach anywhere in the world. I know we've got listeners overseas and domestic here, U.S., Alaska, wherever. I know we got one listener in Hawaii this morning for sure.
All right. So, hey, Coz, that's traditional. How did your weekend go?
Well, as always, weekends just a great. Actually, it's a very special weekend. My high school buddy from quite a few years back got married, and so I was able to see some of this family and just get together. What else? Had other family members.
First wife, second wife.
Well, we're not going to go into that.
Oh no, more?
No, man. He's the one in Hawaii listening right now. We got to be careful what we say here on the air.
No, we don't. Yeah. This is what radio is, man.
Yeah, right. Just because I'm his friend and you're not, I have to suffer the consequences, Sam.
No, don't worry about it. He's laughing, I'm sure.
No, it was a great wedding. It's just so different because at my age, I'm in my 50s, and for the longest time, all I went to were weddings, right? All my friends were getting married, and then some of the latecomers, they got married. So it was just a bunch of weddings, and it started slowing down.
Yeah, weddings were fun. Back in the 20s, I think I went to about like 100,000 weddings.
Yeah, I know you did. And so all of a sudden, I get an invitation to go to a funeral, and then that started amping up, and I just realized, that's just a function of my age. Because being the sandwich generation, I've got parents and their friends started going, and so I was going to funerals and still am. So it's kind of nice to go to a wedding.
Yeah. And you know what's going to end up happening is that you're going to start going to graduations, right? High school graduations and then college graduations.
Hey, Sam, you got to remember.
And then hold on, and then you're going to start going to weddings. So that's the progress. What happens is high school graduations, and then college graduations, and then weddings, and then baby showers, and then possibly, who knows, the house shower, whatever that is, housewarming. And then you start going to one-year birthday parties, and it's all this progress of life, this entire cycle. And then, of course, the worst part where you start, towards the tail end, start going to a bunch of funerals.
Right. Speaking of all these events, you have to get there somehow, right? So I was watching the news last night, and I forget who it was, but they are going to unleash the unmanned vehicle on our freeways here in L.A. Means there's no backup driver. So this is like becoming real. And they think it's going to happen it's going to start becoming mainstream within the next few months. I'm like, geez, I don't know. I don't want to doubt technology, but that just raises some concerns. But so just imagine going to funerals, going to weddings, going to all kinds of events without having to, think about driving. You're just kicking back in the back seat and reading a book, and that may be our future.
Well, there's so many things right now that, honestly, like 3 weeks ago when the Falcon Heavy went up by SpaceX, and I was privy to that. Well, not privy because it was on YouTube as well as on their website, but the live launching of it it was one of these really exciting things. And I remember telling people that I would rather watch a Falcon Heavy launch of that sort versus watching a reality show like the Kardashians, or even maybe to a degree some brand new technology companies new device that's going to be introduced to mainstream America. Because what that does is, and I was speaking to so many other people, is that what it does is just really taps into a certain amount of imagination that we have not really been tapping into, and it was a pretty astonishing thing. It allows us to really think about being able to reach for some things that really, it hasn't been reached for in a while. It's just everything right now is how can I make my phone faster? How can I create an app that will make individuals be more efficient and better their day? That's great. I love those apps. But where is the big dream, the big dream picture and that rocket going up and subsequently those two side boosters coming down and landing together? Who would have ever thought that could happen? That was the wow factor.
I didn't know that's what SpaceX was shooting for, was having, reusable boosters. I mean, I honestly, I wasn't following them. So, and I'm glad I didn't, in a way, because when I saw the coverage, the video of the landings of the side boosters, I thought this has got to be, it's got to be fabricated. Like, I didn't think it was a real video, and you told me no, this is the real thing. They're really landing the side boosters. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of technology. That's a lot of engineering.
Well, and again, because it saves money, it will reduce the cost significantly, and there's just so many things with regards to it. But the cool thing about it is that, like what you were saying, is that we're going to have these cars that are going to be driving themselves, and before, you kind of look at it and say, wow, that's pretty scary. But the greatest part about where we live and what we do is the ability for individuals to go ahead and really think outside the box and create things that are above and beyond. Because remember, back in 2006, 2007, when some dude stood over in Cupertino, California, and introduced this flat device called the iPhone. A lot of people before then, it was a flip phone, Motorola Razr, and Nokia. They dominated the market, so did BlackBerry. And this phone came out, and it revolutionized everything. Not even revolutionized, but revolutionized.
It was people were looking forward to hearing and seeing Steve Jobs, go on stage in his brand, with his jeans and the T-shirt.
Well, what it did is that it created industry. Is what it did.
It was exciting, and people look forward to it.
But besides that, it created industry. So many businesses and so many new revenue models came out because of it. And what happened is that it tapped into imagination. That's what it did. And so the Falcon Heavy going up 3 weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, I don't even rember anymore. But
I think
there's
they had
no
one
question.
it
wasn't the Heavy.
Last week.
It wasn't the Heavy.
Not the Heavy.
No, it was a Falcon 9. Heavy's not going to go up until later on. But the Heavy going up, Falcon Heavy going up, really opened up the eyes to a lot of new individuals that are now starting to think, what else can we do? Because his ultimate goal is to go to Mars. That guy, what's his name? Elon Musk. His ultimate goal is to put a man on Mars.
Right.
And he's been working at SpaceX, and everyone at SpaceX has been working with regards to putting together a device. That there's a project to go ahead and make sure that happens. So it's exciting because it just appears that for the longest time we've been in this imaginary, like this tapping of our knowledge or imagination's been kind of in a funk. Everything's just been
exactly, and that's the point. Is so when the iPhone first came out, it was exciting, right? Then Steve Jobs passed away, and his successor's coming out on stage and trying to announce new products, but no one's really watching. I'm not going out there and saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see the next Apple announcement." But when SpaceX came out, I remember you sent me the link for the Heavy launch. I was like, "Wow, this is really awesome." I mean, that was really exciting. So I don't know how many people, what percent of the population is tuning in to SpaceX, but that really is an exciting thing to watch, and I think it's going to be, the trigger for a lot of new technology. I mean, there's a video of Elon Musk in his office shooting a what was that called, a flamethrower in his office. He's trying to burn things down in his office and won't burn. So new technology right there is a result of what they're doing within SpaceX.
Right, and so when again, it comes back down to what you mentioned about the car that's not going to have a driver. It's scary, but at the same time, it's progression, and I invite that, and I love it. It's actually pretty exciting because if that does happen, that's just you think about it. Well, we're at that phase right now. We're at that Motorola Razr phase. We're at that phase in the cell phone era where how can you get better than a flip phone? How can you get better than a BlackBerry? And I think we're on the cusp of getting better than where we are right now significantly, and that's the greatest part about it. So I just had this conversation with my kids. I told them, I said, hey, so what's the greatest nation on the face of the planet? And they didn't understand what it was. They said, oh, the United States. And it's like, no, it's imagination. And that's where we're at right now. And imagination is really at the forefront. I think we're on the cusp of some really exciting things. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and take a break real quick. You're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money, and we'll be back in just a minute.
If you're suffering from aches and pains, it's time to try Arbo Vitae Health and Wellness Dietary Supplement. Arbo Vitae contains pycnogenol, the most powerful, natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant available, which is nature's way to support the immune system. Let Arbo Vitae help your body restore itself today. To order Arbo Vitae online, go to ARBORVITAEUS.com. To order by phone, call 800-570-0433. That number again, 800-570-0433. Arbo Vitae is proud to sponsor Fish Talk Radio. Check out the show on Facebook or visit the Fish Talk website at fishtalkradio.com. The first caller will receive a 30-day supply of Arbo Vitae with no obligation, so call now, 800-570-0433.
Mark Christopher Auto Center wants to thank you for making them the #1 volume GM dealer again and again and again. And now, during their 2018 Giant New Car Sale, you can come out and discover why they sell more GM vehicles than any other dealer in the state. You'll be amazed at the deals right now on 2018 Chevy Cruze, the new Chevy Silverado pickups, and on the all-new 2018 Buick Encore. You'll find Mark Christopher Auto Center right on the 10 freeway in Ontario, or you can go online to markchristopher.com. Mark Christopher, California's #1 volume GM dealer, family-owned and doing things right since 1975. Remember, the 2018 Giant New Car Sale is on now at Mark Christopher Auto Center, Vineyard exit of Interstate 10 in Ontario.
It's time to shop in the cool, relaxed comfort of the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands, conveniently located on the I-10 freeway between the Alabama and Tennessee exits. Bring the kids too and watch them play in the only indoor fun center, High Five Indoor Playground, where parents are welcomed on the playground. Birthday celebrations are encouraged, so make plans for some great fun at the mall. More reasons why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money. It's another beautiful Monday. And you know what? Our forecast is we can see we can see Catalina. It's right there.
Yeah, I think we see Catalina more days than we don't. Yay. Air quality is good here in LA. Believe me, it's actually true.
It is.
It is. It's been great. Now, compared to 30 years ago, I remember 30 years ago, I couldn't breathe. You know, we'd be out doing stuff outdoors, and by 1 o'clock you can't breathe. You're in pain. That was LA of old. So speaking of AQMD and air quality, now we're going to driverless cars. It's becoming a reality, and you're excited about it, Sam.
I think it's actually pretty cool, pretty interesting. I mean, it's of course probably has it's going to take a little while to capture mainstream, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be pretty interesting going forward. It's just the way of the land, right? I think there was a Disney cartoon years ago, and I forgot what it was. I think it was Wall-E. I'm not sure, but they went up to space, and there was these people in a chair, and they were just going around like an amusement ride at Disneyland. And they were just in their homes on a sofa, or on like a lazy boy chair. And if they wanted to go to the grocery store, they just pressed the button on the chair, and the chair just went and it attached to a rail. And that chair, they didn't have to leave the chair. It brought them to the grocery store. It brought them to the park. It brought them everywhere they wanted to. They never had to leave the chair. And as a consequence of all that, you had a lot of overweight people.
I wasn't going to go there, but you did.
and it's just interesting how the how society works is if you look at the applications, if you look at a lot of these new pieces of technology, it's all designed to make sure that it's provides a tremendous amount of efficiency for us to take a workload off of our very busy life. A lot of these things are on demand. So you've got on-demand food. If you were hungry and you wanted to go to the local place that was 2 blocks away, and you just chose not to go ahead and fire up your car and use 1/32 of your gas, you can pay $7 and have some guy deliver it to you within an hour. And I mean, you've got Uber. I mean, a lot of these on-demand apps are kicking in, which is just, it's good, but at the same time, there's of course I guess a yang to its yin.
Well, let's take that all the way to to the extreme. How many professions are there out there where we can eliminate people working those professions and automate? So no more taxi drivers, no more airline pilots. In fact, no more radio hosts.
Hey man,
that
would be tough to have no pilot in my plane, man.
Hey,
but you know what? If you're going to be going up in space to Mars, you're not going to have a pilot.
Why have a captain of a ship when you can just remotely control a ship? I mean, you could really extrapolate quite a different world. I mean, that would be that'd be the new book. That'd be the new science fiction novel. Is a world, and there's probably half a dozen books out there like that already that I haven't read.
Yeah, well, all those futuristic movies, I mean,
fighting fires without firemen.
Wow, that would be pretty amazing. Having all those helicopters hover over you immediately, and it's just and then they draw water from the ocean and create through science, osmosis immediately, and they're able to go ahead and create
a rainstorm.
A rainstorm, right?
All right, hey, we're getting a little carried away here.
You know what I'm telling you? We might be giving some producer over in Hollywood some information, right?
Right. So, yeah. So speaking of fires and things like that, I know that California had some fires. I mean, we always have fires, right? And we were talking during the break about, what are, what are some of the takeaways from things like that, incidents like that. We're always looking for opportunities that could benefit the taxpayer. And so, what's going on with these?
Yeah, so this past weekend it came up in a conversation, the 2017 wildfires that transpired last year. I mean, of course, 2017, unless you were in it, you really, I mean, it was pretty debilitating, to say the least. And, what happened is that the IRS allowed individuals who were involved and suffered economic loss through the wildfires of 2017. It allowed people to tap into their qualified plans or employer plans. So in the event that you are listening right now and you are in what's called a designated zone, and you're trying to figure out ways on how to rebuild or just get some capital to help yourself out, there is a means where you can do that. And if you sustain any economic loss, you are eligible to take a distribution from your employer plan or an IRA without the 10% penalty if you're below the age of 59 and a half, and also without a 20% withholding. And I say that because the 20% withholding is that if you let's say you didn't have an IRA, and all you had was a 401k or an employer plan at work, then you could take the money out. There's no 10% penalty over there. But then typically what happens is that there's a 20% mandatory withholding that they withhold just because they do it. But in this case, there wouldn't be a 20% mandatory withholding, so you get 100% of it. So that's something, and it's not going to pertain to all you listeners, but I'm sure there's a listener out there that knows of an individual that unfortunately has been in that situation, experienced it last year, and they're trying to figure out how they can go ahead and rebuild their situation. And this is something which, we knew about it, Coz, but we never really discussed it.
Now, do they need to put the funds back within a certain time frame?
They don't need to. As a matter of fact, they're able to distribute. Let's say, for example, you take out $90,000, right? You have 3 years. You can distribute that $90,000 of income, because that's what it's going to be. You got to still pay taxes on it. You just avoid the 10% penalty and the 20% withholding if there is any. You can distribute those $90,000, and you can spread it across 3 income years. So you can do 30, 30, 30. And then you have 3 years, up to 3 years on its anniversary to recontribute the money. So if you came up with $90,000, and let's say you did it, let's say you pulled it out today, you have 3 years, and in 3 years from the date, you have to put, or you don't have to, but you can recontribute that amount of money.
Okay. Above and beyond what you're already contributing normally.
Correct. So it's good. It's good because, again, you take a look at a person who's in a situation and they're wondering, okay, this is great, but the fact is if I take $90,000 out, that's going to add to my income. I'm going to have a massive tax bill, and it's really going to screw me up for the year. So they've been able to say, hey, it's okay, just distribute over 3 years, take it over a 3-year period. And if you are fortunate enough to do so, you can recontribute. But it's a good thing because we know about this, but we really don't talk about it because, to a degree, we haven't come into direct contact with individuals that have actually been in that situation. But interestingly enough, this past weekend, I've been in front of individuals who themselves were in direct contact with people that were looking for solutions to try to figure out what they were doing. So it was just interesting. It was just one of those 1 or 2 degrees of separation of knowledge.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of other things. There's a lot of other things that we wanted to talk about on our show today. And I think another part that it came up. And, our experiences, it happens on a regular basis where through our experiences, we learn brand new things. We may have the answer to it. We may not have the answer to it. But, one of the answers, one of the questions, I mean, they're small questions, and it doesn't really affect so many people in general, but there's a small percentage of people that are affected by it, such as what happens if the IRS wrongfully levied your IRA? I mean, that's let's just say Joe out there, okay, and he has an IRA, and his money was wrongfully levied by the IRS. What happens? So you get the money back, you get the interest on it, all right? I mean, but a lot of people don't know that. They know they'll get their money back. Okay, they'll get some interest, I guess, but at the same time, what do they do with that money? Most people would do what? So let's say you get $10,000 in the mail. It's like, what do you do with it?
You go spend it. You buy a new car.
Right. Buy a new car, buy a new kitchen.
Unexpected money. I mean,
right. You think it's a refund.
Yeah, you just won a small lottery. So, most people are just going to go, feed their dopamine fix. They're going to go find something that they can spend on that makes them happy. And there's nothing wrong with doing that per se, but, our whole thing is we're about planning for the future. And the planning involves money, and we don't want to get to a situation where we're old people and we have no way to continue our lifestyle without having to work. So yeah, you have a choice. You can spend your money now, or you can position it for a future retirement.
Exactly. So what you can do is you can take, let's say if you got wrongfully levied $10,000, you'll get the $10,000 back plus interest, whatever the interest might be. You can take that entire amount and you can put that back into your qualified plan. You can put it back into your employer plan or your IRA. And so that's something that a lot of people, again, they just don't know about. And it's very important to know what your options are, because that's what's really most important is that what are people's options? There needs to be clarity with regards to that. So many years ago, Coz, I did a workshop long time ago. I forget where. I think it was in El Segundo. And it was a very large one. And I remember getting there really early. And it was the entire ballroom was in a mess. It was in shambles. And I was trying to figure out how can I get this done. It's not going to be ready in the time that I need to get that workshop done. There's not going to be 100 plus hot chairs. I mean, what's going on here? And I was sketching out. And I remember talking to the salespeople. I remember talking to the event people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it done." And 15 minutes goes by, and no one shows up, and the place is still in shambles. And then some guy walks through, and I go, "Hey, can you help me with this?" At this point, I'm wigging out now. And his name, it starts with a J. I want to say Joe or James or even Jose. I don't know. But I remember he looked at me and I said, "Hey, man, can you get this done?" He goes, "Of course I can." I asked him, "Well, what about this? What about that? What about this?" He goes, "Well, basically, I'm the guy with all the information. I'm the information man. You come to me so you can gather all the information. We get it done." And that's what we try to do, Coz, with our listeners and with the people out there is that we try to provide the information that may not be pertinent for you at that particular moment, but can be pertinent to a person that you may know or you may need down the road. So anyways, we got another signal. We're going to go ahead and take a real quick break. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to Sam & Co's On the Money. We'll be back in just a sec.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Brian Shook. President Trump's former campaign aide Rick Gates is pleading guilty in special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. In a federal court this afternoon, Gates pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy against the United States and 1 count of making a false statement. The plea comes 1 day after Mueller served the two with a new 32-count indictment. The worst flu season in a decade is claiming more lives. Details from Tom Roberts.
The CDC reports there were 13 new flu-related pediatric deaths last week, bringing the total to 97 this season. According to the center, the flu remains widespread in 48 states, but says the number of people visiting doctors for flu-like symptoms dropped last week. The CDC adds the vaccines are about 25% less effective at preventing the flu, but still believes shots are worthwhile. Tom Roberts, NBC News Radio.
The armed school officer who failed to enter the building at a Florida high school while a shooting rampage was going on may not have been alone in his lack of responding. Sources tell CNN that 3 other Broward County Sheriff's deputies also failed to enter Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland last week. The deputies were reportedly behind their vehicles with weapons drawn but had not gone into the school when Coral Springs police arrived. Deputy Scott Peterson resigned when it was revealed yesterday he waited outside while suspected gunman Nicholas Cruz killed 17 people inside the school. Australia's Deputy Prime Minister is stepping down in a scandal.
Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce says he will step down Monday after reports of an alleged affair he had with one of his staff members. A sexual harassment complaint has also been filed against him. Joyce will also step down as the head of the National Party of Australia. Bill Zipfer, NBC News Radio.
President Trump's big military parade is reportedly taking shape. Politico says the parade is tentatively set for Veterans Day in November. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Do you want exposure for your business or organization? Check out Digital Network Advertising. Digital Network Advertising is where businesses display your ad inside their building. You can choose your marketing sites or jump on the DNA system and advertise with all participants. Your slide holds the virtual billboard for 14 seconds and is displayed 3 times an hour. It's a novel way to be seen, be discovered, and to be remembered. Digital Network Advertising with networks in Redlands and Yucaipa. Call 909-222-9293 for introductory pricing. That's 909-222-9293.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You're listening to Sam & Co's On the Money on another beautiful Monday, and we've got another great show. It's another show about anything money. And we got some anything money stories. Like I said, it was interesting. Off the air, we were talking about that workshop I had years and years and years and years ago. I think it was like 20 years ago, Coz. And I remember that guy. I just don't remember his name. I just know it started with a J. And I don't know. But I just remember speaking to him, and it really, I remember his face. It resonated. That this dude, if you wanted to get anything done, you would talk to this guy. But also, he is the information guy. He had the insight into what needed to be where and what the best layout was for the place. I mean, he's just pure information. So if you ever needed to do a workshop in any way whatsoever, you talk to him, and he told them that don't talk to the event guys, talk to me because I know more.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the searches that people pursue in their lives. I mean, when you're 10 years old, obviously you're not out looking for centers of influences. But when you get to 20s and 30s, you're now involved in the business world. You're involved with you're married. You're raising a family. You're looking for people to help you make life easier. And so let's just take a perfect example, a very simple one that is. And we all have cars. Most of us drive cars, and it's not a happy day when we get a warning light, check engine light, right? Excuse me. And the car starts acting funny, and you don't know if it's going to cost $50 to repair it, or if it's going to cost $1,000 or $2,000 to repair it. But you don't know anything about a car, and so you don't know if the mechanic's going to take advantage of you. Wouldn't it be nice to just have one guy you can call anytime, and he'll pick up the phone, and he's gonna diagnose your problem over the phone? Well, I've got that person in my own personal life. His name is Richard T. And
Ricky T.
Richard T. I call him Richard T.
I'm gonna call him Ricky T. What was his name before? It was
Richard T.
No. It was, remember we had, I called him like I think he was Rico. That's right, Rico, as in Suave. Rico T. If Rico T is listening, remember your name's Rico.
Ricardo. So anyway, but it's just a great thing to know that there's a person you can call on certain subjects, and they're going to be there. They're going to answer your call, and the best of all, that that person is going to have the knowledge to help you out. In my case, Richard T. can answer just about any kind of car, auto mechanically, related question, and help me out. So I think that's part of what life is about, is finding those people and including them in your life. So now with what we do, Sam, obviously our show is about money, and we do get a tremendous amount of calls from people that are looking for answers to their money issues. And not that we have the answers all the time, because sometimes we don't. But the beauty is, again, because we are very good at surrounding ourselves with the right people that have the right information, that have the right talent and experience, if we don't have the answers, Sam, we know who to go to, right?
We know who to go to, and sometimes we get even phone calls that are just completely out of the blue. I get phone calls all the time from people that, hey, what's a great camera to buy? And that's another story. And then I get, the really one obtuse and way out one, way out one is, hey, where's a good pizza place? And so, branding ourselves in a manner where we have the answers to so many things and all things, I want to go ahead and specifically say is that it comes down to money. But at the same time, we have a lot of answers when it comes to just various things, right? And it's pretty interesting. I mean, you've been next to me when people have asked me what kind of camera to buy, which I get, and that's a completely different discussion on its own. It's kind of like golf clubs. You just can't say, what kind of golf clubs could I get? I mean, there's so much that goes into it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like what you said. We're out there and we talk about money. Anything money matters. So it's really important because, again, we would like to be a peer, and we'd like to appear to you as the elective that you should have had in high school that you didn't have.
Well, so last week, there was a plumbing issue in my life, with a property that's in our family, and so we had to get this malfunctioning pipe corrected. And I was just speaking with the plumber, and one topic led to another in our conversation, and he brought up a question about his business and how he's going to retire. And of course, us knowing what we do, he became very intrigued in getting some more education for himself. And the next thing I know, within 2 minutes, he had invited me to go to his plumbing company and provide some basic financial literacy type of education to his employees. And in fact, we're going there this week, right? So, and that's just part of the culture, I guess, in what we do, is we're trying to spread this awareness about money. And there's just so much to it, and in 1 hour, there's no way to cover all the topics about money, and that's part of why we do this radio show. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, listeners, if you need to, have that person that you can call, take this number down. It's 1-800-640-8105, and if you have any questions or any concerns about, getting an opinion or second opinion on your situation, just reach out to us. We'll see what we can do to help. That number again is 800-640-8105.
Well said, Coz. And again, we were talking just right before the break about an IRA that was wrongfully levied. But here's another one. How about what's going on right now? This is something really interesting. So we talk about, everyone that listens to us, we like to talk about subjects that deal with tax-free and some of the vehicles that are out there, such as the Roth IRA. And, along with the Roth IRA, the derivative in speaking to it is, speaking about it, are what are called Roth conversions, where you take a traditional Roth and you convert it into a Roth IRA. So, you've got to pay taxes. So again, just to kind of like give you some basics and some background on it, if you have $100,000 in a traditional IRA, obviously that's all before tax money. And what ends up happening is that you've got to take money out of it. And every time when you take money out of it, you got to pay taxes. You got to go ahead and welcome Uncle Sam into your office and to your house. So you have the option of starting a Roth IRA. And that Roth IRA, you can contribute $5,500 a year if you're above 50 years old at $6,500, and you can allow that to grow. And the great part about the Roth IRA is that you're able to take the distributions, and the distributions, no matter what they grow to, will remain tax-free. There are certain limitations to it, and we're not going to get too much into that right now because we've talked about it in several other shows. But the one thing is that to take advantage, let's say if you got a lot in a traditional IRA, you can convert part of your traditional IRA, if not all of it, into a Roth IRA. You just got to pay the taxes on it. So a lot of people back in 2017, because they converted, they took their traditional IRA money and they converted into a Roth IRA. Mm-hmm. They pay taxes, okay, and that's a good thing. They paid. They were make sure there was a strategy behind it to make sure that they didn't pay more taxes than they had to. But at the same time, they did pay their taxes, and now they started funding a Roth IRA from traditional IRA money. So what goes on is that, as we know, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that recently was passed puts people in a lower tax bracket. So if you did, and this is more information, more education, if they want, they can give you a call, Coz. If more information, they can go ahead and listen to this, rerun it, do on our podcast and the re-recording of it, whatever it might be, the replay of it. But what you can do is you can take your contribution, or not your contribution, but your conversion that you did last year from a traditional IRA to a Roth, and you can redo it. You can recharacterize it.
You can reverse it? Is that what you mean?
Yes, you can reverse it. All right?
Yes.
You reverse it, and then in 2018, if you're at a lower tax bracket, do it again. And it could save you. It could save you thousands of dollars. So, for instance, if you had a married couple with $160,000 in income, their tax bracket was 28%, 2017. So, in 2018, their tax bracket's going to go down to 22% under the new act. Well, it just makes sense that if they did a Roth conversion last year, they can recharacterize it, basically redoing it or just, backing it out. And then they can go ahead and do another conversion of the same amount of money, thereby saving possibly thousands of dollars on their conversion. So it's another strategy not being discussed out there, Coz, right? I mean, it's something that, hey, not everyone's going to do it. It's not going to pertain to everybody, but it's information. It's information.
Right, and and how simple or difficult it is to do is not really the topic here. Obviously, there's a little bit of effort that goes into it, but I can't imagine it being very difficult to do. And it, depending on how much you save, it could very well be worth the effort to go ahead and consider that as a strategy.
Right. And again, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is really going to open up for a lot of new strategies going on into 2018. Now, one thing that we wanted to go ahead and make sure we remind people of is that there's a deadline for IRA contributions, and that deadline is April 17th, listeners. So if you guys just remember you're driving right now or you're listening to this in a delayed format, just make sure, keep in the back of your mind that April 17th is the last day to make contributions to an IRA. So the other part too, right before we go to break here, is we want to discuss the backdoor Roth, right? So why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit about the backdoor Roth and how they can because there's a lot of people that make a lot of money and they don't qualify for a Roth contribution. So how can they not qualify, but how can they end up getting a Roth or a Roth IRA going?
Well, it's actually pretty simple. So a lot of people will say, hey, Coz, Sam, I know that I'm not eligible to make Roth contributions because my income's too high. And so they give up. Well, the problem with that is there's another strategy called the backdoor strategy. And that's where they can go ahead and make a contribution to a different type of IRA, the traditional IRA, and then as soon as they do that, then they can convert that over to a Roth IRA. There's nothing that stops them from doing that. But most people don't think of it; they're not aware of it. But that's sort of a way. It's a way to still make a Roth contribution in spite of the fact that you might have too much income. So
right, and it's $186,000 is the phase out. So if you make over $186,000, you're going to start getting phased out. You wouldn't be able to take advantage of a direct contribution into a Roth. But there's another way to do it, just like you said. You can contribute to a traditional Roth.
Right. So if you want more information,
traditional
on
IRA,
that,
I should say.
Yeah, if you have more or need more information on that, don't hesitate to give us a call. Our number is 800-640-8105. Again, 800-640-8105 to just get more information and more knowledge on anything that you want to talk about. So we are at our time to take another break. You're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Know your rights and responsibilities. You're a hardworking student. You've grown up here. You're striving and working towards the American dream. You're a dreamer and maybe you need to renew your DACA deferral. Now is the time to take action. On January 9th, the District Court ordered a halt to President Trump's efforts to terminate the deferred action for childhood arrivals or DACA. And now the Department of Homeland Security is now accepting DACA renewal applications. Now you can get free DACA renewal assistance from the Todek Legal Center. The Todek Center may also provide you with payment assistance with up to $495 in immigration fees to renew. Stay here, stay home, stay with your family. You're valued, loved, wanted, and needed. Get free legal screening and consultation, application assistance, and legal representation. For more info, search todec.org. That's TODEC.org. Or call for upcoming workshops at 951-943-1955. That's 951-943-1955 for the Todek Legal Center. And dream on.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 60 years. We are locally owned and operated by the Stevens family. We not only clean carpet and furniture, we clean many loose rugs, including Oriental rugs. Oriental rugs are cleaned in our modern facility where the fringes are cleaned by hand, then hung in our modern facility to dry. We do not use steam cleaning to clean your fine furniture. Furniture is cleaned by hand using the same absorption cleaning used in the White House. Some furniture we bring into our plant to clean properly. We normally use 2 men on each cleaning job using the extraction method. There is nothing that will clean carpet better for our customers. Our job is to clean properly with quality first. Google Carpet Masters San Bernardino and give us a call, or go to carpetmasterssocal.com.
So you missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. Even if you've already enrolled but are not satisfied with your choice, you can switch to Liberty HealthShare today. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their healthcare by allowing them to choose any doctor or hospital across the country, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. So members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on those without healthcare insurance, giving you freedom from insurance. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll any time of the year, call 855-585-4237, 855-585-4237, or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Not available in Pennsylvania.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the final leg of our record-setting tour of the 1 hour of radio.
You're stretching that one.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, hey, I got to go and make this thing as big as possible. This is bigger than big. This is the what do we say? The most exciting hour in radio history. You are listening. It's a privilege to be part of the most exciting hour in radio history. That's for sure. Hey, you know what, Coz? So we were talking about this. I mean, so many things. It's just really off the cuff. It's almost. I mean, this is like just talk radio. Very rarely scripted. Just going ahead and having some fun. And there's a bank. It's called HSBC. Okay. And it's a popular bank. I mean, not many people know about it, but we know a lot about it. And they did a study of worldwide retirement saving habits. And you know what they discovered?
So worldwide, meaning it's not just the U.S. It's all over the world.
Worldwide, right? And so the saving habits, and they discovered, and it comes to retirement, obviously retirement savings habits, right? And they found out that people with some kind of retirement plan, some kind of written retirement plan, not just a plan, an employer plan, or an IRA, but a written retirement plan.
So basically a strategy.
A strategy, yeah.
Not like a 401k or an IRA. Those are vehicles.
Right.
We're talking about plan where they sat with somebody who was an expert on how to plan for retirement, and they individualized, they tailored some kind of a strategy and plan for that person and his family to secure a way for them to retire safely.
Well, yes and no. Okay, we're going to get that in a second.
All right.
So a person with a strategy, a written strategy, have more than 3 times as much in their retirement nest egg than those without a written strategy. Okay, 3 times.
So you can have 2 people both with the strategy, but one person has got it in his brain, the other one's got it written down on a sheet of paper.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, let's take it a step further to what you were saying. Now you take a person that actually sat down with an individual who knew what they were talking about, a qualified retirement guy, and they put their plan to paper again. And their nest egg, remember the other one was 3 times bigger? The average nest egg of a person who worked with a qualified retirement guy,
qualified being the key word,
was a whopping 445% bigger than the non-planners. So there's 3 here, right?
So 4.5 times bigger.
Yeah. So, well, not 3. There's two. So for people to have a strategy, a written strategy, their portfolios, HSBC found that their portfolios on the average are 3 times bigger than the person without a strategy on written paper. And then you take it one step further, a person who actually has that written plan, but it was structured with a qualified retirement person, their nest egg, their retirement nest egg was a whopping, on the average, 445% bigger than the non-planner. So, the question is, I guess you can ask a person. You're at a bar, at a restaurant, maybe at the gas station, even though I have a hard time thinking that you could just talk to a guy at the gas station and say, hey, how would you like to increase your retirement nest egg by 445%? Of course, everyone's going to say everyone would love to, but what's the catch, right? And the catch is just really having a written down strategy on what you need to be doing.
Now, why would that be? Well, I can give you some answers. I'll answer my own question here on the air. Well, it's kind of like goals. People say, oh, yeah, I've got goals. I got New Year's resolutions. But here's the thing. You can say you have them, or you can write them down, and there's a big difference between the two. And they're 2 totally different acts. One is you're just saying you do. The other one is you're actually writing it down. You're taking the time to write them down. You're investing in your life and writing these goals down. It just shows you're a little more serious, a little more committed to those goals. You're significantly more likely to achieve those goals if you write them down. Now, if you write them down every day, or even if it's not every day, you write them down every week, same goals, you're a lot more likely to achieve those goals the more you write them down. So extend that out to a retirement plan. If you're so serious about your retirement and you go so far as to write them down, or have someone who's qualified to understand what your strategy needs to be to come up with an appropriate plan for you, you're just that much more likely to get there because you're investing. You're investing in your future.
And it comes down to every single point. And you have good teachers, and you have excellent teachers that really excel. That's why excellent. And case in point, I'm just going to utilize my daughter who runs track, and she had a coaching session the other day, and her coach spoke with me and said that he would like to give my daughter some homework, and the homework was to finish these 2 sentences off. And one sentence started with walk with ... And then the second one was speak with ... So the homework assignment was that my daughter needed to fill in the blanks. Walk with who? Walk with the what? And he wanted to hear from her in writing. He said, I don't want to hear it in words. I want to see it in writing. who she wants to walk with, who she wants to speak with. And it was really compelling because to a degree, I saw this guy who was looking at my 16-year-old daughter and was really taking, was vested in her abilities and was really pushing her thought envelope because, and also making sure she put it down on paper because he understood the value of just words. It's just words. Put them on paper. And when you put them in paper, it does something different.
It does.
And that's the whole thing when
Absolutely.
it comes down to what we're currently doing. And, what we talk to people about and what this study did. This study basically shows, HSBC, not a lot of people know the bank, but it's a very large bank. It's in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, the top 5 banks in the nation. And here's a bank that did a study, and it's simple. The fact of the matter is that people that don't have a plan, that don't have a strategy written down, they're just wherever they are. But the individuals that actually work with someone, or at least have a strategy of something in place, have 3 times greater than a person that doesn't. And you want to take that further 4.5 times. And here's the fact of the matter is, guys, a lot of times these strategies are free, or they just consume about an hour and a half of your time. What's an hour to hour and a half of your time? You spend more time researching a refrigerator than you do, than you would planning a strategy for your retirement.
Well, everything that you said, Sam, is spot on. There's so much more we can say about this, about writing things down. But here's another angle. When you start writing things down, it focuses your attention on what you're writing. And when you do that, it gets your brain to think more about what you're writing, and it leads to curiosity. Now, once you have curiosity going on, then you're going to have a hunger for a little bit more information. You're going to want to know one more thing about retirement planning that you think is, pertinent to your situation. And you invest 5 more seconds looking into that piece of information. Now it becomes interesting. So now you're captivated by what you're reading. And by the time you're done reading whatever that topic is, guess what? In a small little way, you have become an expert on that particular subject, whether it be the Roth IRA or, ways to get tax credits from the IRS, or how to take an exemption from taking the distributions before you're 59.5 years old and understanding what those different exceptions are so you don't have to pay that 10%. You read it once and you become kind of like this micro expert. Now you're invested. Now you're knowledgeable. You're just a little bit smarter. You're more vested. Excuse me. I'm trying to deal with a situation here with my clearing the throat. But anyway, the whole thing here is you invest in that, you become a little bit educated. What'll happen is all of a sudden you'll realize down the road in years that little bit of time you invested resulted in, call it a $25,000 difference in life. It's that significant. So when Sam and I get the opportunities to go out and educate, whether it's through this show or through workshops or just talking to people, we can't quantify how much of an impact we're making, but I would not hesitate to say that we're not helping people save hundreds of dollars. We're helping people save hundreds to tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. So anyway, knowledge is power, and that's what we're here for. You're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money. I think we are at our time here to call it a day, and so we wish you well for the week. We'll be back next Monday, and you guys have a great week.
Nah, I thought you got some.
The game starts in 5 minutes.
And you drank the last beer at midnight on Friday.
I wish there was a place that delivered beer.
Yes, I'm Captain Crafted. I'm here to bring you beer. That's Captain, C-R-A-F-T''D. Why? Because there's no E, just a D, as in deliver, because Captain Crafted delivers.
That's right. The Crafted Beer Store in Redlands is now open for business with great prices and deliveries of your favorite beer, wine, spirits, water, ice, and mixers. Did I mention their great prices? That's CRAFTDBEER store.com or Fred Crafted Beer Store on Facebook.com. Make it easy. Google Redlands Beer Delivery. Look for Crafted Beer.
Crafted Beer Store in Redlands is now open for business, and I'm here to deliver.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Stephanie Shelton, CNBC. Stocks are continuing to rally, with the Nasdaq at least surprisingly close to erasing its correction losses. The Dow is up 287, Nasdaq's up 53, and the S&P 500 has gained 20. The good news doesn't, however, include GE, the oldest company in the Dow Industrials. Shares are down 2% after adding 3 new directors to its board, which will still be cut from 18 members to 12, and after revealing potential Justice Department charges of subprime mortgage violations. Love Girl Scout cookies? Well, Dunkin' Donuts is introducing 3 fave-flavored coffees today: Thin Mints, coconut caramel, and peanut butter under a licensing agreement with the Girl Scouts. And the average pump price for a gallon of regular gas dropped about 6 cents nationally in the past 2 weeks, but analyst Trilby Lundberg says prices will likely go up again. Stephanie Shelton, CNBC.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. Take down the number now for the Federal Tax Management Hotline, 800-522-3893, 800-522-3893.
For 13 seasons, Blake Shelton has ruled the country roost on The Voice. But tonight, will this cowboy finally meet his match?
I'm gonna win!
Meet the new country queen of The Voice, 3-time Grammy winner Kelly Clarkson.
I am a country girl, but I know Blake. He's gonna be like, she knows nothing about country music.
Can Kelly take down the country king?
Nobody else has brought a country artist to the finale.
That's because I haven't been here.
Find out tonight when The Voice returns on NBC.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tom Roberts. This month's deadly mass shooting at a Florida high school is the dominant issue as President Trump meets with the nation's governors at the White House today. The governors are visiting the nation's capital for their annual winter meeting. Among other things, the president said he'll act to ban bump stocks if Congress doesn't act. A student who was injured in the massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High is making her views known today.
I'm so grateful to be here, and it wouldn't be possible without those officers and first responders and these amazing doctors.
During an emotional news conference today, student Madeline Wilford said she is happy that she is making a full recovery. For now, the U.S. Supreme Court will not take up the DACA issue. At the Supreme Court, NBC legal expert Pete Williams said President Trump wants to end DACA by next Monday, but a federal appeals court blocked that move.
The March 5th date is meaningless, the date on which the administration wanted to shut this down. We're not going to get a Supreme Court decision on this case until next year at the earliest.
The White House says DACA is clearly unlawful and will keep challenging it in court. Ivanka Trump says she believes her father's denials of any sexual misconduct.
I believe my father. I know my father. So I think I have that right as a daughter to believe my father.
The first daughter and advisor to the president told NBC News that most children wouldn't be asked about sexual misconduct allegations against their parents. She called the question inappropriate. A violent storm that sparked tornadoes and flooding across the South and the Ohio River Valley has left 5 people dead. Forecasters say the chance of more flooding will increase this week. Floodwaters on the Ohio River in Cincinnati and Louisville are at the highest levels in 20 years. Americans are seeing some relief at the pump. The average price of a gallon of regular gas dropped about 6 cents nationally over the past 2 weeks to $2.59. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
This report is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation invites you to take steps for cures at a walk event near you. Get started at cctakesteps.org.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this morning, we expect mostly sunny skies with a chance of an afternoon shower. Our high 63 as winds gust to 20 miles an hour. Showers are likely tonight. Humidity mostly high at 44. With showers, we could have a thunderstorm Tuesday. Look for a partly sunny day with a high 53. There's a chance for showers into Tuesday evening. Humidity partly cloudy with an overnight low of 39. Of a sunny Wednesday with a high of 60. I'm Rod Tanner, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center with the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California. KCAA 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and the Legacy 1050 AM Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Hi everybody, Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Aladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Aladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.